just bought my own. I got sick of the station. Sweetwater. There's a company called Sweetwater. It's pretty expensive, but they sell really nice ones. That's all. Yeah. Like several 100-foot cords and then they snip. Yeah. Ready, Stefan?
She just wants to walk up, we don't need it formal,
We're ready to start.
whatever she wants to
I'm
do.
ready when y'all are. Well, what questions you gonna ask first? So we know?
We don't know yet.
Well,
It may be dictated by what she says.
We're ready? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our media and welcome to all of us that are joining the SCCPSS Communications live stream. We are very excited that we are almost finished with our very first day of school. First day of school is always an exciting opportunity, and we have certainly kicked off this 2026-27 school year with unlimited possibilities and a lot of excitement. The first day of school has always been one of my favorite days, and today did not disappoint. Like most, all of our teachers and staff, my day began well before the sun rose this morning. I had an opportunity to visit our bus lot where I was able to send many of our bus drivers off on the first day of school. And that was an important stop for me because we serve about 19,000 students in the form of transportation. And the first faces that they see on the first day of school are the faces of our bus drivers. So that was a very exciting opportunity. Our bus drivers were smiling this morning and ready to welcome students on buses. And as those buses arrived at schools, students were greeted with welcoming classrooms from very dedicated employees. And I just want to emphasize and double stamp the large amount of planning that has taken place over the summer to prepare us for what should be the headline, an exceptionally smooth first day of school. We experienced a lot of excitement and energy. We witnessed today, I think we were about at 8 different school sites. And again, representing months of preparation. Long before students arrived, our transportation team was reviewing routes. Our student nutrition department was planning meals. Technology teams were updating devices and systems. Principals were training staff, and teachers were carefully preparing classrooms and lessons. And today that was evident in every place that I visited across the district and every report that I've gotten from places that I did not visit. Thousands of employees, and I just want to emphasize and thank the thousands of employees that spent their summer focused on one goal, ensuring students would have a successful first day, and we delivered that. Today we saw that preparation come to fruition. Again, I started my day at the transportation facility. Throughout the morning, I also visited several schools across our district and saw examples of excellence in every way. At Savannah High School and early college this morning, students were greeted by educators ready to get teaching and learning started. Heard from a lot of students who will be 10th and 11th and 12th graders already making plans for college and other future aspirations. We then moved on to Tybee Island Maritime Academy, and there we saw students embracing very hands-on learning and the opportunity to make education relevant and engaging. And I should say, at our charter sites, this is not their first day of school, this is actually their 6th day of school. And things looked very routine this morning at Tybee Island. At Butler Elementary School, which is where we went next, we had the opportunity to see how strong new leadership at that school had already began to target academic supports, helping students, very hands-on. And then we moved to New Hampstead K-8, where we celebrated our Teacher of the Year, Sam Sachs, who had also kicked off STEAM learning in his classroom. And we are super excited to have Mr. Sachs as our Teacher of the Year. He certainly is one of the outstanding educators in this district who represent the best of our profession. We also visited Bloomingdale Elementary, where staff was working very hard to welcome and accommodate Pooler Elementary. So for those of you who do not know, both Pooler Elementary School and Bloomingdale Elementary both reside in the same building, and it was seamless. You almost could not tell one school from the other. Bloomingdale Elementary is in a transition to become a fully K-8 school. This year, the school added on 6th grade, so it's now a K-6. Next year, it will be a K-7, and eventually it will move to a K-8 model. And the last stop of the day was at Hubert Middle School, and there we saw continued progress on major facility improvements that will enhance the learning environment and the courses that students will be taking there. Every single stop today had the same story. Our employees are committed, our students are ready, and our schools are focused on learning. I'd like to share a few other data points, some nuggets, fun facts for you all to take away. Today, our student enrollment based on PowerSchool numbers lie right at about 34,466. I want to be clear that that number will fluctuate day to day, and it'll probably settle in about mid-August. But as of today, 34,466 students are enrolled in one of our schools in Savannah-Chatham County Public School System. Additionally, we are excited that we are processing new student registrations. Over the weekend alone, we had 256 new registrations, and those currently right now are in pending status. Our student information team will continue to update these numbers, and again, while I'm excited to celebrate some specific stats, those numbers will fluctuate over the next 10 to 15 days. The number of schools open today, 61. So we have 61 different academic locations, schools, programs, or centers. This also includes our charter schools, including the newest school to join our portfolio of schools, and that is the new Reach Charter School. And we are excited to welcome them as an alternative learning center, which is similar to our e-learning academy. Teacher vacancies, that's always a question that the community has, our media has. That will also fluctuate over the next few weeks, but let me give you just a few stats on that. We have currently about 20 to 25 teacher vacancies across the entire district. Most of those are at the elementary site. We only have one teacher vacancy at our transformation schools. So that is excited. Today, transportation remained a key functional component of our district, and it will remain that over the first few weeks. 22,557 students routed over 224 routes today. That same process is taking place this afternoon for dismissal. 388 buses were on the road this morning, and we had a 71.3% on arrival time, which is excellent for a first day. 588 customer service calls were received, and 449 of those were resolved successfully. School meals served today, over 9,000 school meals. I had the opportunity to take a look at our cafeteria lines today, where students were enjoying a choice between hot dogs and Philly cheesesteaks. But today we had over 9,000 meals served, 17,000 lunch meals served, and just as a reminder to our community, we are a community eligibility provision district, which means all of our students eat free meals, breakfast and lunch. Hunger should never be a barrier to student learning in our district. Overall, there's not a lot to report, other than it has been an extremely smooth opening of schools, no major operations, no major disruptive issues, no major security concern, aside from just a few network connectivity issues with phones and internet access at a couple of our schools, which was sporadic throughout the day, and every one of those issues has been resolved. And lastly, just some occasional HVAC issues, and those are also being resolved as we speak. Again, minimal issues on the first day of school. We also just want to take another opportunity to recognize that our district is a distraction-free school district, which means we have a cell phone policy that aligns now with state law. All of our students, K-12, are not allowed to have cell phones, bell-to-bell instruction. So as soon as students arrive at school, those cell phones this week are to go into book bags or whatever the storage component of the school is. Next week, we will move on to more of the official process. We're trying to give students and families a week to acclimate before we launch into the full storage plan. At the high schools, that is the pouches, and at the elementary schools and the middle schools, we have lockers for students to store phones in. So again, giving our students a week this week to get acclimated, but let me be 100% clear. We were distraction-free on day one. So that means students were not allowed to have their cell phones out today during the school day. That will continue to be a major focus for us as we lead up into the next few weeks. And again, we're just aligning ourselves with state law. Our district is very well poised for this transition and seamlessly will implement the law as the state has required. Just a few other things I want to remind families of. I do want to remind our families and community that over the next few weeks, we ask you to be patient. I ask you to be vigilant on your morning and afternoon commutes. Many more cars out on the street, walkers, students riding bicycles, all now out on the street, and it's very important that if you are in a car, you are paying attention. There will be some delays. Those are all expected, but they're also expected to smooth out over the next couple of weeks. We do have a couple of hot spots today where we saw some larger volume than what we would tend to see with traffic, but again, with the support of our municipality police, we are manning and monitoring that and expect those to prove out. As we begin the next school year, I could not be more excited. Our focus remains very clear, ensuring that every student has access to high-quality instruction, meaningful opportunities, and support that they need to be successful. And the first day of school sets an important tone for that to happen. And what we've seen today gives me tremendous confidence that we are well on our way to unlimited possibilities. Our students are ready, our educators are ready, our staff is ready, and today we opened a school year full of unlimited possibilities. And at this time, I'll take any questions if you have them. I'd also like to just recognize that I have members of the team here with me, so some of the questions that you ask may very well be delegated out to the chief that has the most relevant information.
So you mentioned how, can we use this? Hello, my name is Stephen Glover. I'm with WTOC News. You mentioned how there was a lot of preparation going into the very first day of school. I know there's also a lot of preparation that goes into the very last day of school as well. Kind of tell me, is there anything new or different with this year compared to previous years?
Well, there are lots of different things for families and students to experience. I mentioned the cell phone policy. Obviously, that's one. We are also routing our families to Power School this year. That's the only way for them to get a report card. But I would just say there just a lot more planning strategically, having some different configurations with our operations team and our maintenance team. Our buildings looked immaculate today as I walked schools. All of them had that first day of school shine to them. There were some changes we made last year to make that happen. So I would just say every year you get better, and this was the best year that I've experienced since I've been here this is my fourth opening of school.
So with this being your fourth opening, you've probably seen so many different kids and their faces. And what was the first thing that came to mind to the very first school to the very last school that you saw?
I think the energy and the excitement about the first day of school is palpable. It's very similar to probably what we all remember when we think back about first day. You see kids just very excited, meeting new friends, being in a new classroom environment, meeting a new teacher for the first time, nice book bags, notebooks, all the things that we remember. Those things remain true, even for students now, totally in a different era, learning in new and different ways. The first day of school is just the best day of school.
And do you have any final messages to parents? I know that there's a lot, to cover today. I know there's a lot going through people's minds and stuff, but what are some of the key takeaways for today?
Just a very smooth opening of school. I just ask that parents are patient. The first few days of school, we'll have, as planned as we are, we will have glitches along the way. And we just ask for our parents to be patient with us as we work those out. Thank you for those questions. Anything else? Awesome. You guys made it easy.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Going once, going twice.
I'll just close again with a big thank you to the team. You see part of the team here represented and ready, but this has just been a tremendous, tremendous opportunity from every single staff member, from the nurse to the custodian to the front office secretary, teachers, principals, and our central office team. And that's what made this opening of schools very special and very smooth.